I was just talking to Mike Florio and the Danettes. We were doing our rundown meeting for the Super Bowl. We get done. I go outside. I get some food outside. And I see Chris Sims. Chris Sims goes, "Hey, man, I'm getting killed. I'm getting killed by people on the on Twitter. Because I said Blake Bortles is the 70th best passer." I go, "But you did say that." And he goes,
over and over again.
Yes. Yeah, he goes, "Yeah, but I said it on your show." I said, "Yeah, you said it on my show. You also said, I think he should throw left-handed, not right-handed." Somehow I'm the blame because he came on and said something stupid.
He was not put on earth to throw the football. That he says that all the time about Blake Bortles. And like when he has a good game, he moves him from 70 to 67, 66, and then it's back to 70 again. And 70 is where he's locked in.
Mike Florio staying with us from Pro Football Talk. What is Blake Bortles' future in Jacksonville?
Well, there was a report last week that the Jaguars are going to keep him it's $19 million under the fifth-year option for 2018. And I feel like you have to just be willing to rip the name off the back of the jersey and say, what else could we do for the same money or less or a little bit more, right? If Case Keenum ends up being available, I'd take Case Keenum over Blake Bortles. I thought one strategy would be to cut him before the $19 million becomes fully guaranteed on March 14 and just sit back and see what happens. Because who else is going to rush to give Blake Bortles huge money? So maybe you can get him for less than that. And I think they've just kind of been dismayed because they've had success with him. So now what do? We have to keep him, but he's not the answer. And I feel like they're just one quarterback, very good quarterback, away from being the team that's hoisting the next Lombardi.
What about Nick Foles' future?
The sense coming from the Eagles before they won the Super Bowl was they have to keep him because they need a great backup to Carson Wentz because of Carson Wentz's playing style. He's not going to change it. He's had the torn ACL. He's had other injuries. He plays with that physicality that is conducive to getting hurt. So you have to have Foles there. They got him under contract, I think, for $7 million for next year. That's a great deal.
Yeah.
But now what happens if somebody calls you up and says, "Hey, Super Bowl MVP, we'll offer you a first-round draft pick for Nick Foles"? Do you take it and move on? They got the first-round pick and a fourth-round pick, I think, for Sam Bradford. And I think maybe they just hold on to Foles the same way they had Foles or Bradford and Wentz a couple of years ago and just wait and see. And maybe they can flip that into an asset, but they better feel good about whoever the backup is to Carson Wentz because you never know when that guy's going to have to play and play well.
Explain to me what's going on with Kirk Cousins right now.
Well,
wait a minute, hold on. Kirk Cousins.
Kirk, not Kurt. Look, Kirk, here's the reality. Washington has a deal in place to get Alex Smith. And Washington, if they want to be cute, they can franchise tag Kirk Cousins again and then try to trade him. Too complicated, though. And it's $34.5 million to tag him again. Why wouldn't Cousins just accept it right away and say, "Hey, I'll take $34.5 million. If you want to play me, play me. If you don't, don't. If you want to have me and Alex Smith, fine. I'm getting $34.5 million on top of the $44 million I've gotten the last 2 years." I think that, and one source characterized it to me yesterday as Washington playing a pettiness game.
But you could trade him to Cleveland, though, to spite him.
Yeah, but here's the thing. He has to sign the franchise tender, and then Cleveland has to take that contract. Well, they're going to take a one-year deal for $34 million, and then next year it would be another 44% raise on top of it, even if you can tag him a fourth time. Open question under the labor deal whether you even use the tag a fourth time. So what are you getting in return for Kirk Cousins? And I think of all players on the team, Dan, the quarterback has to be all in. You can't trade for Kirk Cousins if he doesn't want to be there. And when the Patriots did it with Matt Castle, he was on board with the process. He worked with the Patriots to let them trade him. If Cousins isn't going to cooperate, it becomes impossible. And I think Washington is just trying to make him sweat a little bit, maybe come up with some sort of a scheme to keep him from hitting the open market. But I don't think they'll be able to pull it off, and they're playing with fire. They tag him, he signs it, they're stuck for $34.5 million.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.